I'm like, everything, if I buy anything else outside of technology or crypto, it's actually a relative destruction of capital.
What's going on, crypto family? Aaron here from Bitcoin Bros coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video today. And in today's clip, we're checking out Raoul Paul. These are some recent clips that he talked about what he thinks is going to be coming next for crypto, for technology over the next couple of years, and what he's expecting for 2024. And he also talks about why the market has been so boring as of late, even though we've had some big news recently. And he also will talk about some of the biggest winners he sees over the next couple of years. So what he talks about in today's video is a lot of the same things that Bitcoin Bros agree with, but let us know what you guys think about what he says in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and jump into the clip.
Not a trader, really. I think you've probably figured that out by now. My time horizons are very long. So for me, it is number one crypto over my time horizon. Let's just use this business cycle, not even going further out. Let's say over the next into end of 2025, I think crypto is the best performing asset in the world. I think technology stocks are number two, and number three, tricky. Tricky could be something commodity related. Copper. Let's go with copper. So that's what I think. And because I think everything is driven by the same thesis right now, which is global liquidity, debt, demographics, debt. And you end up with two assets that outperform everything and one asset more than others. I'm like, everything, if I buy anything else outside of technology or crypto, it's actually a relative destruction of capital. So I don't do it. So, I can give the advice. Yes, I love India. You should be buying India. I'm not going to buy it because I'm at the point where I think this is the clear macro setup and I want the maximum focus in the trade that I'm doing with the least distraction. It's one of the reasons I was happy to get rid of the bond trade. Just I don't want the distraction. I want the two bets, technology, crypto, with crypto being vastly larger. And so I can focus because, I can get stuff wrong too. We all know that. So I just want to focus on what I'm doing, filter out the noise, keep my time horizon right. My take has been everything's quiet right now. We've got very little liquidity coming into the crypto market or the traditional markets. We've got the central bank still tightening, so there's just less money around. So even you've seen that the positive narratives, and there's been a lot of positive news in crypto, hasn't really driven price. Because the other thing is we're not bringing many new people in yet. And there's a lot of supply on the market from, Mt. Gox, government stuff, FTX, and that just weighs on the market when there's no new people coming in. We're seeing it in traditional markets as well. There's just not a lot going on. It's kind of very summer feeling about it, drifting around, not that many people participating. You can see it on Twitter, you can see it in other places. Just engagement in the space is pretty low, but people have forgotten the space is up 50 to 100% this year. It's very quick to forget in crypto, unless it's up 300%, we don't care. So you have to take it, crypto is still the best performing asset class in the world this year, but we kind of feel miserable about it because it's gone sideways or down since April, let's say. So overall, my view is that the central bank is likely to start to see inflation falling and unemployment rising and economic growth slowing or staying slow. And so that means for the back end of the year, the more likely outcome is they stop raising rates. Okay, that's plus point number one. B, if the bond yields keep rising as they've been doing, they'll probably stop quantitative tightening at some point. That'll be a plus number two. And then if inflation starts falling below 2%, which I think it will do towards the end of the year, they'll cut rates as well. So that's plus point number three. So that shifts the kind of liquidity cycle as it brings us into 2024. Now, 2024 is not only will we see, so all of my forward-looking stuff about inflation and unemployment, rents, those kind of things, they should continue to come lower. So that means the central bank now has the excuse to cut because they need to refinance all of this debt that they've got. And there's trillions of this stuff, and they can't refinance it at 5.5%. Just it's mathematically impossible almost. So really what I think they're trying to do is make it so they overshoot to the downside, so then they can cut and do the necessary things. Also, 2024 is an interesting year because it's an election year. So we tend to get more stimulus, whether it's government handing out money. There tends to be more money around to bribe voters. So I'm very positive on the last quarter of this year. I think it'll be volatile, let's say until October, and then we should have a good run going through. And then I'm very positive on 2024. Now, none of these things will go in a straight line, but generally the first year of crypto spring looks like this. It goes up a reasonable amount, but it's choppy and sloppy and people don't really buy into the story. Then the next year of crypto is when spring turns into summer. We tend to have a good year, not ridiculous year, but a good year. And then the year after that, we tend to have a ridiculously good year. So that's generally how things have played out. I think that's based on a macro cycle. I think that's how it's going to play out this time. So my guess is it's probably before the market expects, because I think a lot of people are resigned to the SEC will wait until March, the absolute latest. I doubt it, but who knows? Now, I talk about this a lot. If we'd have launched a Bitcoin ETF last October, there'd have been nobody buying it, right? So price needs to be positive and rising for people to want to buy it. And we haven't seen that yet, not enough. So really, if they launch it tomorrow, could you attract $1 billion of RA assets? Fine, but the government and FTX are selling more than that and stuff. What we really need is, let's say Bitcoin's trading at 40,000, looking strong. You launch an ETF. Okay, then we're talking, well, maybe 5 billion comes into the space. And if it goes up, then you get to 10 billion. And before you know it, it's real money into the space, fresh capital. But right now, I don't, it's not the biggest deal, but it will be as an on-ramp when the market picks up. When we're in crypto summer, we'll look back and go, bloody hell, there's a lot of money in that ETF. My strategy is, I did most of my buying last year. I never sold a single thing. The idea was, the journey I've learned since 2012, 13 was, if your thesis is long-term, stay with that. But then in these, if you think of that logarithmic trend, is when we get these down cycles, the macro down cycle or the halving cycle, that's when you add and it compounds over time. So that's all I've done. Now, when I've got more cash, I'll probably still add a bit more, but that's my main thesis. And I'm just sticking with that, just keeping it super zoomed out. As you said, keep the emotions out of it, ignore 90% of the news, observe it, but don't feel part of it. That's a really big thing to learn. Is Binance going to go bust? Is that going to, none of it matters. It's just, all that does is change the path of that. Does it go down and then up and then down? I don't know. But what's the probability that the space is significantly higher in 10 years, knowing what we know, knowing that the financial system wants to use it and all the brands that want to use it, and that the central banks want to issue central bank digital currencies and stable coins are being adopted around the world? The probability of this being much higher is extremely high. Just focus on that.
And thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you enjoyed that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more videos, and also leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Love to hear what you guys have to say. But thank you for watching again. My name is Aaron from Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.